Also willkommen zurück zu unserem Rosewater Let's Play. Heute mal ohne Cam, einfach so Spiel genießen, keinen Hut aufsetzen müssen. Ja, wir haben uns ja jetzt hier mit dem Gentleman Jack und seinem Gehilfen, ich weiß gar nicht mehr wie er hieß, zusammengetan und wollen den Schatz von dem Ätherizitätstypen finden, weil der verschwunden ist. Ach ja, da fällt mir was ein. YouTube hatte Probleme mit einer Musik hier drin, deswegen spielen wir ohne Musik weiter.
Can we talk?
What's on your mind?
I've got some more questions about you.
I'm always happy to answer.
How'd you and Danny get together?
I was packing up after a run of shows in Quick Point, having a hard time of it. You see, my assistant had up and left a few days prior, so I was flying solo.
Your assistant left? Why?
The showman's life ain't for everybody. I don't fault him for it. Anyhow, Danny comes up and offers to help with the crates. You should have seen him. Eyes wide, hands shaking, downright charming. So Danny gives me a hand and we get to talking. Turns out he's got experience roping and shooting. Even gave me a demonstration. I offered him the job as my assistant on the spot. The rest, as they say, is history.
So.
Just how did you come to learn about Clark's money?
Not long ago, I got to talking with a feller at the saloon. The whiskey had loosened his lips and he blabbed all about the success of his Orem claim. But then he told me about how he'd invested most of that Orem in Clark's research and how he wasn't the only one.
And you're certain these investors won't be wanting their money back?
Can't speak for the rest, but this feller won't. See, his aforementioned loose lips got him into trouble with some other folk. Poor bastard was shot dead in the street.
I see. Enough jabber. Let's push on.
Maybe a little talk to him.
Hey, Danny?
Ma'am?
We
Nope.
should get a move on.
Dann schauen wir doch mal, was wir hier alles sehen können. In beide Richtungen, okay. Übrigens,
Miss Legere, I'm sure I needn't remind you that our priority is getting into that lab. Plenty of time for exploring once we finished here.
ach ja. Übrigens, falls ich mich komisch anhöre, ich habe mir vorhin ordentlich auf die Zunge gebissen. An 2
Hey,
Stellen.
wait. Where you going? What about the lab?
Right. First things first.
Na gut, dann gehe ich halt dahinter. Dankeschön. Hallo? Mhm.
Guess it shouldn't come as a surprise that the front door is not wide open for us.
That's a serious-looking lock.
Way too complicated for these lockpicks.
So, how are we supposed to get in?
Hm. Dynamit ist gut.
Know if there are any locksmiths in town?
I'd prefer if we handled this ourselves. My old pal Captain Stokes is stationed nearby at Fort Beaumont. He owes me a favor, or two.
Maybe he could give us some high-powered equipment to get inside.
You read my mind, Danny boy. Wouldn't do any harm to take a look around out here first, though.
Meine Rede, ja.
Dr. Clark really liked his sarsaparilla. There must be at least 30 empty bottles in these crates.
I once drank 10 bottles of sarsaparilla for a bet.
Did you win?
Well, yes, and no.
Doing some tidying, are we?
Ach komm schon.
We might find some use for these. Come help me. I can't carry them all myself.
Hey, I ain't gonna start belly aching if you want to go around collecting refuse. Might fetch us a few shillings if we sell them back at the Jack of Diamonds.
Na
There you
also.
go. And some for you.
Thanks.
Must take ages for any correspondence to get out here.
Probably beats having to hike into town, though.
Irgendwie cool, dass die alle mitreden
Looks
dann.
like Clark missed his last mail delivery. Must take ages for any
Mhm.
Probably be.
empty sarsaparilla bottles.
Nothing more to say about that, huh?
Seems to be from another scientist.
February 12th, 1850. Dr. Clark, I hope this letter finds you well. Upon hearing news of the reactionary and ignorant ban our leaders have seen fit to impose, my thoughts went to you and your thankless labors in the wilderness. When they hounded you out after the expo, and I wouldn't be surprised if Leroy's cronies sabotaged your display to discredit you, you were undaunted. After enduring such a trying year, I know how much building that lab out there meant to you. A turning point in your fortunes, or so it seemed. Yet I am sure you will persevere once more. One day when rationality again prevails in the halls of government and this silly thing is lifted, I hope to take you up on your offer of a tour. If you've returned to the bosom of civilization by then, all the better. With warm regards, Dr. Roderick Nethersole. P.S. How you managed to rig a TT-180 console to control both your equipment and door mechanisms still baffles me. Mine is destined for the scrapyard.
Mhm.
The good doctor was pretty self-sufficient out here. Wonder if Dr. Clark boarded these up himself. Locked up tight.
Whoever closed this place up really didn't want anybody getting in.
Ach so, dann
This
ziehe ich am
is one of
Schluss.
the sturdiest locks I've ever seen.
I think we're gonna need to get creative. The fort stockpile might have something that could help.
Hey, Danny?
Ma'am?
Got any of your own ideas on how we might get into the lab?
Well, I think Jake has the right idea. We should ask for help at the fort.
We should get a move on.
So, was war das mit dem Brief nochmal? Also,
February upon
Ich-
here when they after enduring one day when with warm rig. P.S. How you managed to rig a TT-180 console to control both your equipment and door mechanisms still baffles me. Mine is destined for the scrapyard.
ET-180.
Dr. Clark really...
Will sie aufwerfen.
That's not going to get these doors open.
Mhm.
What are you doing? This is no place for sightseers.
And just who in the ether are you?
Such disrespect. You toy with forces you do not understand.
The lady asked you a question, sir.
Heed my warning. Stay away from this place. Its mysteries are not for you.
Hey, wait!
Ein bisschen.
You forgot your... hat?
What was that all about?
Good question. Tinfoil. Why was that man
okay.
wearing it as a hat? This isn't really my style.
Jammer nicht.
Appreciate it, but I've already got a hat.
No thanks.
So, also mit der Alufolie können wir aber doch sicher was machen, oder?
Now there's something you don't see every day.
You can say that again.
Bisschen Soft Cheat.
Wonder if Dr. Clark boarded these up himself.
Irgendwas im Diary? Nö. Dann ab zum Fort, oder?
Can we talk?
What's on your mind?
Have you had any new ideas for getting inside the lab?
Not a one, unfortunately. I believe asking at the fort is our best hope.
Enough jabber. Let's push on.
Dann geht's hier zum Fort.
No sign of that odd bearded fellow. I wonder where he scampered off to.
I reckon we got ourselves bigger fish to fry right now, Miss Leger.
Das Ding gehört doch zum Fort quasi, oder ist das eine typisierte Map? Ah, süß, wie Monkey Island ein bisschen.
Hey, look, a show!
What a racket.
She's pretty good, though.
Excuse me? I said, excuse me. Hey!
Caramba, you made me miss. What do you want?
Do you know anything about the laboratory just over yonder?
That abandoned wreck is a laboratory?
It was at some point.
Clearly, you know more about it than I do.
Und wer seid
Who
ihr?
are you, and what are you doing out here?
I am Marisol de la Vega, Lieutenant General of the Constitutional Army of New Spain. My compadre is Corporal Eugenio Garcia.
Pleasure. I'm Harley Leger, and these are my associates Jake Ackerman and Danny Luo.
Good to meet you. In answer to your second question, Eugenio and I are practicing our shooting while we wait for our jefe to conclude his business.
Auf die Käfe,
Who
okay.
did you say you were waiting for?
Our leader, General Filomeno Marquez. Surely you've heard of him.
Afraid not.
Híjole, it really is true. Vespuccians don't pay attention to anything unless it happens right in front of their faces. You do not know of the new Spanish Revolution?
Should I?
Ugh.
Erzähl doch
What
mal.
about this revolution, then?
I do not have the time or the desire to explain the particulars of our struggle to you. Pick up a non-imperialist periodical if you can find one, and you might learn something.
That's all for now. Happy shooting.
Thanks, gringa.
Bitte, Grinker.
Best not to
Reden wir mit ihm
disturb
auch?
her unless I've got something to say.
Caramba!
Carajo.
Anda!
Can we talk?
What's on your mind?
Any idea who that odd fellow with the beard was?
Not a clue. Sure seemed a few cows short of a herd, didn't he?
I'll say. Let's hope he doesn't cause us any trouble. Enough jabber. Let's push on.
Híjole! Anda!
Nobody in sight, but I'm sure there are guards somewhere.
Has to be.
Hey, anybody in there?
What is it?
Oh, wo kommst du her?
Would you happen to know anything about the lab just over that way?
No, and quite frankly, I don't care to.
We'd like to come in, please.
More unannounced visitors? Must be my lucky day. What country exiled you?
None. We just want to speak with Captain Stokes.
Afraid he's indisposed.
Why don't you tell Stokes that Jake Ackerman needs a word?
Gentleman Jake?
At your service.
We're not in the market for entertainment. It's like I said. Oh, dad blasted. Would you knock it off with the shooting already? I can't hear myself think!
You call yourself a soldier when the sound of gunfire sets you quivering like a coward? Pathetic.
Look, I can't help you. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't be asking to see Captain Stokes if it wasn't important.
I opened the gate for the last person who said that to me today. And what did I get as a reward? His two cronies raising hell for the past hour. No, ma'am, not again.
Not again.
What do you all get up to in this place?
I'm really not at liberty to say, ma'am.
Carry on, soldier.
Right.
Híjole!
Hey, Danny?
Ma'am?
How can we get into the fort?
The god seems upset about all the noise. Maybe he'll warm to us if we can figure out some way to take care of it?
I
We
see.
should get a move on.
Vaya.
Hey!
You again? What is it now?
Say, do you think you could practice your shooting somewhere else?
Why?
The fort guard isn't happy about the noise.
Well, then maybe he should choose another profession.
Oh, habe ich abgebrochen aus Versehen?
You're pretty good, but I bet I can beat you at shooting.
I am the best shot in New Spain.
Care to prove it?
Gladly. But a large stationary target such as this is not suitable for a contest. If you wish to challenge me, find some moving targets.
Can we use these bottles as targets?
Indeed, we can. Very well. Prepare to be humiliated.
Say, Jake, could you give us a hand?
My pleasure.
How many bottles are there?
About 30.
Then we will each shoot at 5. Whoever breaks the most wins.
Sounds fair.
I am feeling generous this morning. Would you like the opportunity to practice first?
Ja, bitte.
Yes, actually.
Very well.
Ready with those bottles, Jake?
Yep, get ready. Set. Incoming.
I'll get the next one.
Incoming.
Fuck.
You missed.
Incoming.
I'll get the next one.
Was,
Here
warum?
we go.
I'll get the next one.
Bottle in the air.
You missed. If that is the best you can do, I do not know why we are
Warum
even
prallt die am
bothering.
Himmel ab?
All right, for real this time.
Ready. Set. Incoming.
Nice shot.
Incoming.
Damn it!
Bottle in the air.
Pure luck.
Here we go.
You missed.
Dieser
Bottle in
Drecksdeckel da
the
oben.
air.
I'll get the next one.
My turn.
Incoming.
Take that.
Bottle in the air.
Dale.
Here we go.
Anda.
Here we go.
Dale.
Here we go.
Híjole. I win. Better luck next time, sweetheart.
Ja, vielleicht machen wir keinen Eintritts-Austrittswinkel oder so.
Hey!
You again.
I wasn't quite prepared last time. How about we try
I'm
shooting
still
again?
not.
If you insist. Remember,
30
whoever
FPS
hits the
Moorhuhnjagd.
most out of 5 bottles wins. Get on with it, mustache wax.
No need for name calling, madam. Ready. Set. Here we go.
Pure luck.
Incoming.
You missed.
Here we go.
Wieso prallt die da ab?
Here we go.
Hot damn!
Bottle in the air.
I'll get the next one.
My turn.
Here we go.
Another. Nice.
Perhaps I can.
Sorry, wenn ich meckere, aber die prallt einfach an irgendeinem random Punkt von oben ab. Komm, nochmal. Wir haben noch ein paar Flaschen.
Third time's the...
I'm beginning to think you.
Ready. Set. Bottle in the air.
Damn it!
Bottle in the air.
I'll get the next
Warum?
one.
Bottle in the air.
My turn.
Here we go. Here we go.
Anda.
Bottle in.
Another.
Ziemlich
stand a
komisch.
chance.
Rechts drüben ist das Ding auf einmal rot geworden.
Hey!
Haben wir noch einen Versuch?
You.
One more rematch?
I think you've embarrassed yourself enough.
What do you say I make it worth your while to go practice shooting somewhere else?
You take me for some common bandit? Mira que cabrona. Keep your coins. And don't insult me again.
That's all for now. Happy shooting.
Thanks, gringa.
Best not to Can we talk?
What's on your mind?
How about an encore of your juggling ball trick? Beat that lady at shooting, and we can get her to practice elsewhere.
I see. Not a bad plan, but I make it a point never to perform without a crowd. Ask Danny. He's a good shot, but a little practice couldn't hurt him.
Enough jabber.
Naja, dann schauen wir mal.
Hey,
Ma'am?
shooting's clearly not my specialty. Think you can teach that show-off a lesson?
It'll be my pleasure. Excuse me, ma'am?
What do you want, boy?
I think I'd like to beat you at that bottle shooting.
Oh, this is gonna be good. All right, kid, let's see what you got.
Why don't you go first? Show me how it's done.
My pleasure.
Ready? Set? Here we go!
Híjole!
Bottle in the air!
Dale!
Bottle in the air!
Anda!
Bottle in the air!
Damn!
Here we go!
Dale! Let's see you beat that!
Ready, Danny boy?
Yep, don't worry about the warnings. Just throw.
Don't believe this. Beaten by a chinito de mierda. Eugenio, vámonos de aquí.
She's not a very good sport.
Never mind her. That was some fine shooting.
Mhm.
Sure was. You weren't kidding about being good with those pistols.
It was nothing. But thanks.
Hey, guard!
What is it?
Sure is a nice, peaceful morning, isn't it?
What happened to those cacophonous varmints?
They took their business elsewhere. Now, would you be so kind as to let us in?
So long as you promise to keep it down.
Deal.
Well now, what have we here?
I appreciate your hospitality, Captain, but I must admit I am perplexed by the change in your position.
It's not my position, General Marquez. It's the position of the government of the Commonwealth of Vespuccia. I have some discretion in the execution of my orders, but I'm sure you can appreciate that there's a chain of command.
I am, of course, most grateful for the aid you have rendered in the past. I am sure that your recommendations carry weight with your superiors. If you would be willing to lend your influence in support of our cause.
Perhaps we can speak of this at another time, Mr. Marquez. As I said, I have other concerns to deal with.
Of course. I look forward to our next meeting.
Captain Stokes, you're a difficult man to see.
Ackerman, how the hell are you?
Leave this to me. I'll have Stokes eaten from the palm of my hand.
Good day, Captain. Madam? Just a moment. I have seen you before.
Also doch, ich dachte mir, aber hab mir nicht getraut, es zu sagen.
I'm surprised you saw much of anything after that tumble you had.
Ah, of course. The newspaper office. You left me lying in the street.
I'm sorry, but I had
Indeed.
things to do.
Ay, por Dios. Is there not one selfless person in this country?
Look, if I see you falling out any more windows, I'll pull out my net. Fair?
Amusing. What's your name, anyway?
Harley Leger. This is Danny Luo, and over there is Jake Ackerman.
Sir?
I am General Filomeno Marquez. Though Filomeno seems to be difficult for you Vespuccians, so you may call me Phil.
Phil it is. Good to meet you.
And you, I suppose. What brings you to the fort?
Sagen wir ruhig, komm, wir sind offen.
We're looking for help getting into the abandoned lab back there.
And why might that old ruin interest you, eh?
We were thinking it might make a nice hotel. Just need to spruce it up a bit. Then we can charge folks for rustic desert stays.
Ah, I see. You were attempting to make a joke. In any case, there may be something in there to interest me as well. In fact, I could get the laboratory open so we could both go in, if Stokes were not so stingy with his munitions.
How do you mean?
My specialty is demolitions and explosives. I just do not have any on hand right now. I thought perhaps the captain might once again be willing to assist a fellow warrior in a righteous cause, but...
It's like I told Mr. Marquez, my hands are tied. Much as I'd like to help, I've got enough to worry about with my men missing. In fact, I was just heading out to search, so if you'll excuse me.
Hold your horses, Captain. How about we come with? I'm sure you could use the extra eyes.
It's mighty kind of you, Ackerman. Can't promise it'll be safe, though. We'll be going near native territory.
Come on, Stokes. You forget who you're talking to? I laugh in the face of danger. We'll ride with you.
Your friend is quite the braggadocio, no?
Braggadocio. Ich weiß nicht, ob es das Wort gibt, aber ist cool.
That's Jake for you, as colorful as they come.
You're all in, then?
Apparently so.
I will accompany you as well.
Sorry, who are you?
Y'all can get acquainted on the trail. Let's get going. Sun's almost up. Appreciate y'all coming out with me. Strength in numbers and all that.
Our pleasure, Captain.
Exactly who is it you're looking for?
My first lieutenant, John Mulberry.
So when did your man go missing?
He left leading the patrol last evening and they never returned. I just hope the natives didn't get him. Things have been a bit tense of late.
Achso, was haben wir gelernt? Immer die wichtigen Fragen zuerst stellen, weil wir kommen meistens nicht dazu, alle zu stellen.
On the subject of missing people, did you ever cross paths with Dr. Bennett Clark?
The mad doctor? No, ma'am. My man and I steered clear of him. Used to be we'd see strange lights and hear weird noises coming from his lab. Don't know what he was up to out there, but it weren't natural.
Weren't natural, okay.
You've been stationed at Fort Beaumont long?
Nearly 4 years now. For the most part, it's a fairly quiet post. Of course, Rosewater's nearby and usually good for a diversion.
On that note, I'd be honored to have you at my show, Captain.
Ah, yes. Soon enough, Ackerman.
How do your soldiers and the natives get on with each other?
Not too well, I'm sorry to say. We've allowed them their space, left them in peace, but somehow that ain't enough. They seem temperamentally disposed toward causing trouble.
Have you tried asking what's upset them?
Listen, Legere, with all due respect, you've no idea what you're talking about. We've already given these folks an inch, but they have taken a mile. The government's tried appeasing them with treaties and such, but those ain't worth the paper they're written on. You'd sooner reason with a coyote.
Well, I think... Ah!
Engines!
So far, we have been stymied in our efforts to search Clark's laboratory. Captain Stokes let out a search patrol, and he let all us supplicants tag along. But it wasn't enough to deter the native war party that ambushed us. Stokes slipped the trap laid for him, leaving us four to stand in his stead. Now we await intelligence of our captors and some sign of our fate.
Well, isn't this a fine turn of events?
So, Moment mal kurz. Was war jetzt mit Stokes? Ich hab's... In der Nähe von Dr. Clarks verlassenem Wüstenlabor. Es gibt viel zu erzählen. Zunächst ein paar Notizen für meinen Artikel, bevor die ganze Aufregung mein Gedächtnis trübt. Die Show war auf eine gewisse Weise einigermaßen unterhaltsam. Darsteller waren Gentleman Jack, sein Assistent Danny Luo und Charlie, der den Clown in plumpen, komischen Einlagen spielt. Es wurde ein gewisses Maß an Können geboten. Jack zeigte einen beeindruckenden Scharfschützentrick, der mit Cowboy-Einlagen und Erzählungen über seine Heldentaten ergänzt wurde. Ich habe auch mein Interview mit Jack bekommen. Ich kann mein Transkript nicht lesen, ein totales Gekrakel. Und ich kann mich kaum an etwas erinnern, was er gesagt hat. Ich werde improvisieren müssen, wenn es an der Zeit ist, es niederzuschreiben. Nun zu wichtigeren Dingen. Ich wurde überraschend für eine Unternehmung angeworben. Jack Ackerman sucht nach dem Vermögen des in Ungnade gefallenen, auf mysteriöse Weise verschwundenen Erfinders der Ätherizität Dr. Clark. Er ist auf seine Spur gestoßen und vom Erfolg völlig überzeugt. Das scheint eine faszinierende Aufgabe zu sein und auch eine Gelegenheit zu reisen und Material für einen zweiten Artikel zu sammeln. Obendrein die Bezahlung, die durch dieses Unterfangen winkt. Nachdem ich geholfen hatte, eine Schlägerei im Salon zu schlichten, Charlie ist wohl unzufrieden, den Dummen zu spielen, hatte Jake die Idee, dass ich ihm als eine Art Leibwächterin dienen könnte. Ich bemühe mich, ein friedliches Leben zu führen, aber mein Weg ist gesäumt von Leuten, die eine feine Hauerei suchen und von denen, die darum betteln, dass ich ihnen eine reinsammle. Von Rosewater ist es nicht weit zu Dr. Clarks Labor. Nachdem er aus Lamplight City verjagt wurde, weil er etliche Leute auf der Expo in Luft aufgelöst hatte, hat er sich mitten im Nirgendwo in eine abgelegene Einrichtung zurückgezogen, wer weiß, was anstellen konnte. Der letzte Ort, an dem er je gesehen wurde. Jake, Danny und ich machen uns bei Tagesanbruch auf den Weg dorthin, um herauszufinden, welche Geheimnisse er zurückgelassen hat. Uff. Ein Lagerhaus. Genauer Ort unbekannt. Bisher sind wir bei unseren Bemühungen, Dr. Clarks Labor zu suchen, gescheitert, da die ganze Anlage verrammelt ist. Jake hatte die Idee, sich durch Sprengung der Tür Zutritt zu verschaffen. Er genießt bei der Garnison ein so hohes Ansehen, dass er vorschlug, persönlich bei Captain Stokes von Fort Beaumont um etwas überschüssige Munition für den guten Zweck zu bitten. Danny hat sich als äußerst fähig erwiesen. Er ist ein unglaublich guter Schütze. Die Zauberformel Gentleman Jack verschaffte uns Einlass, aber Captain Stokes war zu sehr mit einer vermissten Patrouille beschäftigt. Okay. Achso, ja klar, die Patrouille war auch vermisst. Um auf unsere Bitte oder die eines anderen Besuchers einzugehen. Sorry, das war falsch betont. Der war kein geringerer als General Philomeno Marquez, Phil, wie ihr uns bittet ihn zu nennen, den Anführer des Volksaufstandes der New Spain, erschüttert und der um Unterstützung für seine Sache bat. Sorry, ich bin ein bisschen rausgehaspelt. Ich kannte diesen Mann und zwar nicht aus irgendwelchen Artikeln. Das war der Kerl, der mich vor dem Büro von Joni fast platt gemacht hätte. Ich gab zu, dass ich ihm nicht half, weil klar war, dass er nicht schwer verletzt war. Captain Stokes führte eine Suchpatrouille an und er ließ uns Bittsteller alle mitgehen. Sicher nur, um eine größere Zahl von Leuten zu haben. Aber das reichte nicht aus, um den einheimischen Angriffstrupp abzuschrecken, der uns in einen Hinterhalt lockte. Stokes schlüpfte in die für ihn gestellte Falle und ließ uns 4 an seiner Stelle zurück. Also er ist abgehauen. Okay, jetzt warten wir auf Informationen über unsere Entführer und ein Zeichen unseres Schicksals. Entschuldigung, manchmal klappt es ein bisschen besser mit dem Vorlesen, gerade eben nicht so. Ja, und damit muss ich hier auch leider Schluss machen. Es ist, schon wieder eine halbe Stunde voll und jetzt gibt's Abendessen oder Family Time. Ich wünsche euch was und bis zum nächsten Mal. Dankeschön fürs Dabeisein. Ups.